Hi everyone, my name is Shauna in case you don't know, and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be giving all of you Woman Loves Woman book recommendations. What this means is that the main relationship in each of these books that I'll be recommending is between two women. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're both lesbian, they could be bi, they could be pan, but the main relationship is between two women. These recommendations include middle grade recommendations, young adult recommendations, and new adult recommendations. These recommendations don't include all of the Woman Loves Woman books that I've ever read. These are just my favorites out of the ones that I've read. Without further ado, let's crack on into this. So I'm going to start off with my favorite one and the inspiration for this video. So my favorite one and my inspiration is Catch and Cradle. Catch and Cradle is by Katia Rose, and this is a new adult Woman Loves Woman sports romance. This is about Becca, a team captain of the lacrosse team at her university, and Hope, who is on the lacrosse team. There's a rule in their team that no dating is allowed between teammates, but their romance starts to blossom. They start developing feelings for each other, and they soon realize that they can't stop and that they love each other. I absolutely love Catch and Cradle. I have never really been super into lacrosse, but I found the lacrosse elements of the story to be really fun. Becca is lesbian and Hope is bisexual, so there is representation of those two. There's also non-binary representation and dyslexia representation in here as well. I find it really cool that this book takes place in college because I'm in college, and also because I find that books a lot of times skip over college. Books a lot of the times cover high school, or they cover adulthood after college, and so I'm glad that this book takes place in a college and is about their college romance experience. This one is phenomenal. I highly recommend that everyone reads it if you can, but there is one very explicit scene, so just keep that in mind if you are not into that adult content. My next recommendation is Cheer Up, Love, and Pom-Poms. Cheer Up, Love, and Pom-Poms is another sports romance. I swear I don't read sports romances that often. It just happens to be the case that two of my favorite Woman Loves Woman books are sports romances. So Cheer Up, Love, and Pom-Poms is by Crystal Fraser, and it is illustrated by Val Wise. It is about Annie, who is a very smart lesbian, but she's antisocial, and so to get more things on her college application, to round it out, to get some extracurriculars on there, she decides to join the cheerleading team where her friend BB, who is trans, is on the team. The two of them start practicing together and they rekindle their friendship that they had in the past, and some other feelings bloom up too. So Cheer Up, Love, and Pom-Poms is so sweet, it's so cute, it's so short, so it's a really quick read, but it is so phenomenal and I highly recommend that everyone reads it. My next recommendation is The Lost Girls by Sonia Hartle. This is a young adult vampire revenge story. There is one explicit scene in here, but it isn't like too detailed. So basically the concept of this story is that there is this vampire named Elton, and Elton likes to turn high school girls into vampires, and then he is dating them for a while and he just decides to ditch them. So there's all these girls that are his ex-girlfriends that he's just ditched. And the main character, Holly, is one of those girls, and these girls join together and they decide that they are going to take Elton down because what he is doing is wrong on so many levels. This was a very enjoyable young adult paranormal romance, and it is a Woman Loves Woman romance. And I'm not going to tell you the romances between. I mean, if you read the summary on Goodreads, you can figure it out, but like, it's cute and it caught me off guard, and I recommend going into it with like an open mind, and don't read the descriptions that you don't know who she's gonna fall in love with, because the romance in this story is so cute. The romance is my favorite part of this story, and yeah, this is a great recommendation that I have for everyone. Next up is She Gets the Girl. I've talked about She Gets the Girl a lot on my channel because it is such a phenomenal book. I read it earlier this year. She Gets the Girl is by Rachel Lippincott and Allison Derrick, and Rachel and Allison are a couple in real life. They are both authors who wrote this book together, so it's so sweet to know that they're a real life couple, and they wrote a romance story that's sort of similar to their romance story. So this story is a slow burn, hate to love, young adult romantic story. It is set in college, but it is very much young adult. There is no explicit scenes in here, but like it does like seem like it's gonna head in that direction, but it never goes super intense, so it's completely appropriate for teens. So it's about Alex, who is a flirt, and it is about Molly, who isn't really a flirt, but she has a crush on this girl, and they make a deal where Alex is going to help Molly get the girl of her dreams. And of course the plan goes a little haywire, doesn't go exactly the way that they were planning, but their romance is super cute. I love this story so much. You really have to push through this book because I wasn't sure if I was going to like it after the first few chapters, but you really have to like stick with the characters and see their transformation, and then the story will get so much better after you realize that they're like changing and falling in love. It's so good. I love it so much. And my final recommendation is Redwood Ponytail. I listened to this on audiobook, but I highly recommend that you do not listen to this on audiobook. It is a book written in verse and it just doesn't transfer over to an audiobook format very well, but it is an enjoyable story. Redwood and Ponytail are the nicknames for the two main characters in the story. So one's tall and she's a volleyball player and she goes by Redwood, and the other one is a cheerleader and she goes by Ponytail. It's a middle grade story about discovering who you are and falling in love for the first time. It's super cute and I highly recommend it. So those were all my recommendations for Woman Loves Woman book recommendations. I hope that you found this video enjoyable. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to me if you haven't already. I upload videos twice a week, so my next video will be uploaded this Friday. I hope all of you stick around to watch that video, and until next time, goodbye!